Hey guys, the Hot Mess Express is here on a Friday. Ooh, is this video looking a little crazy? Yeah, trying to do this in a hotel, so I'm trying to build my brain for my reading kids. Anywho, DIY number 1, welcome to fall and welcome to first of the month. I'm already out of breath. We're going to take some of these dice from the Dollar Tree. You'll have to buy 2 packs of them to get 3, or if you only want 2, get 2. I got some napkins there. And you also saw that cute little wagon again with some little wooden pumpkins from the Dollar Tree. With these little foam dice, I like to take these little wooden sticks and stick them in the end. It just makes it easier to paint. I'm just taking that, I think it's like called Everlasting by that Home Decor. Anyway, paint them and I stick them in the foam just to paint them easily, and then they sit up and don't get paint everywhere. We're going to take these 3 apple barrel colors, which was pale daffodil, a crisp green, and flag red. I painted 1 yellow, 2 green, 2 red. If you want more, have more. I just did 5. Used that truffle brown to paint my stem. Here comes an epic fail. I was going to decoupage those dice with those napkins. Boom. Epic fail. That did not work out too well. So you know what? We're not using the napkins. We're just going to take all of this material here. Those 2 rolls are from the Dollar Tree, and this pumpkin is from my friend Shelly. And I got some jute twine there. Notice I went and got my dice back that I threw. We're going to take each one of my 3 pumpkins, and we're going to take our pinking shears here, and I'm just going to cut out a big square. You might want to kind of maybe measure, and we're going to pull it up and tie it at the end, and then tie it with the jute twine. So you kind of measure, not measure, but kind of pull it up to see how much you're going to need. And having more is better than not enough. Using my pinking shears with the zigzags just to make sure that it doesn't fray and get all funny. So you see how I'm pulling it up here? I did that before I cut it too, to make sure I did have enough material. So I just carefully pulled all that up, kind of twisted it around a little bit. I'm going to take this piece of jute twine right here, and I'm going to tie it in a knot. Now, before I tie the second knot to double it, I'm going to kind of pull all this up, try to pull it as tight as I can to make sure it's not all too bumpy and lumpy around the cube. And then once I am okay with that, we will tie that a second time, and we will knot it a third time. Boom! There's pumpkin number 1. And here comes pumpkin number 2 and 3. Of course, we're going to use our black and white buffalo check and sunflowers. And aren't they cute? Guys, that was easy. Why I even wanted to try and do that decoupage with the napkins, I don't know. It'd be cute if you had some solid color napkins, but if it's got patterns, I couldn't figure it out. Anywho, I just got those ribbons in those packs of $10 from Michael's. I just chose ribbons that match the material. Sunflower here's got some green, some brown, and some yellow polka dot. I just cut some strips, however long you want them, and just used my jute twine that I had and tied that and knotted it to the pumpkin. And of course you can see they're longer, but of course I trim them up, and I also take my lighter and singe the ends, so nothing frays. I've got all sorts of this just stuff. Yeah, there's moose. Yep, got that too. And I got these little pine cone things, and then leaves and pine cones, acorns, just whatever embellishments you want to put in the center of our little pumpkin where we we tied the ribbon. I'm telling y'all, I'm pooped. Been working on this for 2 nights. I didn't realize I had so much footage. I got better internet service at home than I did the hotel. Go figure that one. Anywho, so I just glued those on like that. And you can see I'm singeing the ends of my ribbons. Words. But aren't they cute? Oh, I just love it. Yay, I'm so happy. So here's my apples. Later on, I do take some Mod Podge and put a clear coat on them so they're nice, pretty, shiny apples. I'm going to take a bag of raffia here, and I've got some really long raffia. Some of it's already kind of cut up, and guys, stay tuned. Naomi's coming to make her appearance. We got to get Naomi ready for fall. If you're new here, you got to go back and watch my Naomi videos. She's a gnome. Anywho, I put that raffia in our cute little farmer's market wagon, cut it up a little bit, putting in our pumpkins, our apples, You want to make more apples? Want to make more pumpkins? Want to make smaller pumpkins? Use those wooden cube dice. Guys, it is the first of the month. Hello, fall, with our beautiful hosts, Brenda, Rustic, and Lace DIY, and our other beautiful host, Krista, with Krista's Crafty Life. Check out that description box for their channel links and the playlist link for all the good fall stuff. All right, guys, here's DIY number 2. Here is our Naomi. If you haven't been here to see Naomi before, you guys go check out some videos. Her picture of each holiday will be in any little description. I'll try to go link some in my description box. If not, most of you have seen this beauty. We're going to make her look like a scarecrow for fall. So you can see I have that hula skirt from the Dollar Tree, and I kind of took half of her mop head off, and because I want to add some of that hula skirt from the Dollar Tree instead of all her mop hair. I ripped her nose off because I want her to have a brown nose, not a pink nose for fall. I added some leaves and some scatter glitter ball styrofoam thingies to our glass jar that we put our lights in and all that good stuff to make her shine and sparkle. You saw some of my same material over there. Everything's going to coordinate here. So I'm going to take a chunk of that hula skirt. Notice when I chopped the chunk off, I tied the knot to the end that I put back in the bag, so hopefully it doesn't all fall off. We're going to take that, and so notice I'm not hot gluing any of the mop or the hula skirt to her head. I'm just tying this on, because remember, you guys, if you've been here a while, you know I don't hot glue it. I just stick it on because we want to remove it and do something else with her later. Now, she got some pretty long hair. She's some Rapunzel going on here. So I'm going to cut that off. Going to keep it. I ain't throwing it away. Now, it is still long, but I want to put her braids in the side of her head first, like we always do to put our bows in. So I grabbed some of her mop hair and some of the hula skirt, her straw hair, and I'm just going to make 2 braids. There goes the beezy. Going to make 2 braids, one on each side. I took some buffalo check ribbon and I tied it at the bottom of her braid to hold it. Now, the glue is going on the ribbon, not necessarily, and hopefully not her hair. And I just made a 2-loop finger bow to glue on top of that ribbon. Now, if you guys want to tie it and then just tie a bow, I've done that. I did this in 2 separate pieces. If you want to do it in one, whatever floats your boat. Did you see Moose? He's trying to help me trim her hair here. Now he's trying to steal her. You know, he's the one that broke her the last time, and we had to take her to the doctor. You know, so I hope he doesn't do this again. This is the last nice milk jar looking thing. Look at him, stealing the spotlight. Anywho, I trimmed her up again just so it is even right at the bottom of the base of her jar there. So here we go with our nose. So I want a brown nose. I'm kind of just sanding off all the hot glue and wiping her down and getting some of that pink paint off. This is Warm Buff by Apple Barrel. She now has a little brown nose, and this will last us till Christmas, and then we'll paint it pink again. So here's our same material. I ended up not using the pumpkin material here. We're just going with the sunflowers and the buffalo check. Now, you guys, if you've been here, know that I usually don't make Naomi clothes. We just put some kind of hat or something on her head, and then we put the bows in her hair. Well, I decided, let me be cute. I saw Kathy Joe DIY the other day. Sorry, Brenda, for going DIY. And Lord have mercy. I can't. DIY. You guys know what I mean. Anywho, we're going to take some of the sunflower. I just kind of held it up, measured it, and we're just wrapping it around the jar. I'm just using hot glue to tack it on. No, hot glue does not work very well for glass, but that's what we're using because remember, I don't want this to stick very good anyway. She's not being played with unless Moose decides to play with her. And it's just sitting there. She should be okay and should last through fall, I would hope. Because come Halloween, that's where we started last year. So we get to get her goodies back out. I watched Kathy Joe, anyway, back to that, sorry, squirrel. And I wanted to make her a little outfit. Guys, if you want to know how to make her an outfit or anything an outfit, if you want to make a scarecrow outfit, don't watch this video. Nope, I'm not the one to watch. Nope, absolutely not. Go watch Kathy Joe. Kathy Joe's DIYs. Go watch her. She knows how to make some clothes. Yeah. Anywho, so that bottom part with the sunflowers that I just wrapped around the bottom of the jar, that's like her skirt dress part, and this part is an apron. I was trying to show you guys, I had to go through this kind of fast because this was 3 projects. You know me, I go on and on and on. I want to show you everything I do, but that was 2 hours worth of video, and I had to cut and clip, and I still had to speed things up. Anywho, you can slow it down in your settings. There's a little gear wheel on your TV or phone, and you can slow it down and watch. Anyway, that apron, I was trying to show you with my hands how I kind of went up, over, back up, and then we cut a little hunk out, and it's her little apron. Now, the strap's a little bit of a problem. Had to cut some slits to get it to go around her neck. And here we go again with the moosey moose. Yeah, So got her apron on and got her dress on. Now I'm just taking some burlap and I'm just cutting out a square. I'm going to fray some of the edges here except for one, and that's going to be our bottom, which right now looks like the top, but it's going to be the bottom. Put my glue and I'm going to fold it over like a hem again, just like we did her apron a little while ago. Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to just kind of glue the bottom and a little bit on the edges, leave the top open. She's got a little pocket on her apron. Again, I know that glue is not holding to the glass, but remember, we want to take it off anyway, and I'm probably going to use that material for something else one day because this was terrible, guys, just terrible. Okay, so we're going back to our burlap here, and I'm wrapping it around her head to see how much I need. This works pretty good. I'm going to fold another hem. We're going to glue it down. Guys, when you glue in with burlap and stuff, make sure you got some kind of finger protectors or something. Like I'm using my little makeup spatula thingy there. Yeah, because it's going to hurt. And this hem I want to show because since this is her hat, this is kind of like the brim of her hat. Remember, kind of like making a little scarecrow here. But she's also a little gnome. So I'm just going to take this and I'm glued it around just like I did the sunflower material. See my mess I got going on there? And I'm going to just take some jute string, pull it up, tie loop knot around it. Going to fray it a little bit, pull some of the strings off. She looking cute. She looking cute. And now I'm going to take some more of that hula skirt and I just grab just a little clump of it, and I took some more jute twine, tied a knot at the end of it, cut that off, and we're going to stuff it on in front of her braid. We'll stuff some stuffing and then I'm going to do another little set and we'll put it on the other side of her head because I just wanted to cover some more of that mop up. See, just like that. So I'll make one for the other side as well. See, there we go. It covered up and she's looked like she got more straw. Now I'm going to take a bigger kind of handful clump here. Use my jute twine. Boy, guys, I'm tired. Okay. Wait till Hot Mess Sunday. That should really be good. Anywho, cut that off on that shorter end just to even it up. We're going to glue this. Now, this I glue. I didn't glue the strands that we just put in her hair and I stuffed under the hat. I didn't put any glue on that because, remember, we want to take it off. But now this big clump, I am gonna glue in the top of her hat because that's part of her hat. But her hair that I put on her in the front for like bangs, whatever you want to say right there, I did not glue that because remember, we want to be able to take all this off. Now, I'm going to take some of that similar ribbon that we put on our little pumpkins earlier, and I'm just going to hold that up there, take that jute twine, tie it so it holds the ribbons. I didn't tie a piece around the ribbons and then tie that to the hat. I'm just taking the pieces all loose and using the jute already on the hat and tying the ribbons. Then I put another little leaf and a little funky pine cone thingy on there again. I put a little, it's like a orange pom-pom there at the bottom of her apron. I just kind of trimmed it out, thought it was kind of cute. Gonna take her nose. I tried to sand the glass to scuff it and rough it up some. Because, you know, I know that kind of helps hold the paint. I was thinking maybe it helped hold the glue, but, you know, what do I know? The only reason this nose is sticking to her is because the glue got on the bottom of her burlap brim hat there, and that's pretty much what it's sticking to. It's not sticking to the jar. But anyway, there's our Naomi. You'll see her a little bit later. Again, one more, guys. DIY number 3. Same material. 2 pumpkin sign from Dollar Tree from last year, and this little hexagon that I got from Family Dollar when they were going out of business. Got some fall clings here for $1. It was a 2-pack for $1 at Dollar General. Guys, check out Dollar General because you know we getting grundled with Dollar Tree. Okay, so I took that lace colored, which is, it's by Home Decor or something. I got it at Dollar General, but if you've got Plaster by Waverly, it's pretty much the same color. But this is just called lace. So anyway, you saw that I painted my hexagon box there just on the inside, gave her 2 coats. Then I did the whole thing with the pumpkins, getting the paper off, cleaning them up, tags, sanding it down, all that good stuff. I then, now I'm dropping things, took my pumpkins and put that lace paint on the front. This is only to make my material pop when I Mod Podge it on. If you don't care about it being bright, don't paint it. You can just go ahead and put the Mod Podge on your pumpkin. Then you spread it out. Make sure you get to your edges. Put your material on top, smooth it all out, make sure it's flat, and then put another layer of Mod Podge on it, and then you let them dry. We're going to take our antique wax, and I'm going to go on that top edge all the way around, on the edge sides and the bottom. Okay, by the time I was done with that and got a little heat gun after it, these were pretty good and dry. I cut some of the extra material off first. Now you can take your little zip finger sander and sand the rest of it off because it gets so hard after that Mod Podge dries. I got a little finger dauber here and my Tim Holtz Vintage Photo ink. And I'm just kind of going around the edges and my sides. I went around on the flat sides all the way around completely. And then I just dabbed it and kind of smeared it on top of the fabric there. And I really got in the corners and the little bumps and where like the stem peduncle is on the, pumpkins. So anywho, so taking that lace again, I got this wood circle. We got some Mod Podge, we got our window clings. Now, you don't need as much Mod Podge for this window cling as you do the fabric. You know, like the thinner your material or whatever your use it is, the less Mod Podge you need. I'm going to smooth that on there. Obviously, this doesn't fit perfectly on this circle. I'm using just my vinyl scraper to get all the bubbles out. But we're not going to panic about the sunflower part hanging off. Back to that lace paint, and I'm going to take it and I want to paint the back of it, so that'll kind of make those colors pop. It kind of hardened it up a little bit too, but it's not the best, but I did not have a bigger circle. Well, let me correct that. I had a bigger circle, but it was way too big. So this was too small. The next size I had was too big, but oh well. Put another coat of Mod Podge on top, you're good to go. So you can see I have some tumbling tower blocks and I've got some cubes. This all came from Dollar Tree. And we're going to put the cube on the back of our little sign. It's fall, y'all. And then we're going to take our tumbling tower blocks and glue them on the back of our pumpkins. You see how I kept the orange on the back of that pumpkin that says fall vibes? I might change my mind one day and I might use that. Other than that, I cleaned them all up, got the paper off. You know how you could put the water on, let it soak, scrape them down, sand them down. You see Miss Brenda do that all the time, guys. So I'm gluing all those guys together. Now we're going to head to our box that's good and dry. We're going to glue that in the top corner. Now you guys glue this together in the box however you want to do it. This is how I decided to do it. I played around with it for a while, but you didn't want to see all that mousse coming through. Beep, beep. Okay, so taking that same exact ribbon, I used the same ribbons I used on our little foamed ice pumpkins at the beginning. So we're just going to lay it on top. This time I am going to take some jute and tie the ribbons first, and then take the jute and tie it around the peduncle stem of the pumpkin. And we'll have that, and then I'll glue another leaf on that coordinates, and another little pine cone frizzy looking thingy, and another, I already said that, another leaf and a pine cone frizzy looking thingy. Okay, so these pumpkins look exactly like our foamed ice pumpkins. They pretty much match. It all coordinates, it all goes together. Now, I consider that this hexagon little box here kind of look like a pumpkin. This I have right here is an old piece of a spindle. I am going to link in my description box my spindle pumpkins that I made last year. And I'll also have it in a thumbnail here at the very end of the video. You can go up and click on it when we get to the end. That was one of my favorite things I've done. I love spindles. And I made some pumpkins. So this was just a little extra I had. And this little spindle's going to be the peduncle on this pumpkin. So I just cleaned it up a little bit. Later I'll put some antique wax on it on the top because it kind of sticks out and it's kind of bright compared to the sides of the hexagon box there. We'll use a little bit of that wood glue. We'll use a little bit of hot glue. This worked out real good. And we'll get that on pretty much in the center right on top there. I'm trying to get some more close-up views for you guys, but other times my camera is sideways out of whack and I feel like I'm standing on my head to try to show you. Anywho, sorry about that, guys. Boy, I've rearranged the craft room and moved my camera. Well, it's my phone anyway. And I'm still trying to figure out how to get you guys the best view. And then sometimes I will have a little furry heifer walk through and bump the camera phone with his tail. So, you know, anyway, I made one of those simple bows. You see them made all the time. I'll try to slow down next time. Anyway, and then I took some more of those extra little strips of fabric out of those packs from Michael's and tied that onto that one. And we're going to glue some leaves around our peduncle at the top. Now the bow I'm going to kind of glue on sideways because I don't want it to cover up my "it's fall y'all" sign. So I'm going to kind of glue it on top and kicked to the side a little bit on the side of the stem peduncle there. So there you go. Now we're going to take some Pip Pip Cheerio berries. I did get these at Dollar Tree a year or two ago because they're the orange, burnt, burgundy, maroon kind of color. They're real pretty for fall. You twist them to make the little twisty, twirly things on top of the pumpkin, and my mind is lost right now which color. So you can wrap that around a pencil if you want them skinnier. Get a little paintbrush, whatever size. You can stretch them, you can pull them. I made a little foot and bent it at the bottom, and that's what I put the glue on to stick them down on the pumpkin. I put one beside, I put them beside, one on each side of the stem peduncle thing. Yeah, I'll get it out in a minute. Whew, okay. So you then noticed I didn't put a leaf in the middle because we already got our leaves on, but I put one of those little funky pine cone thingies on again. That stuff came in some potpourri stuff that I got at Dollar Tree a long time ago. I think it was the same stuff as like little pumpkins and all other kinds of stuff. Anywho, I'm taking this raffia here. I wanted to use the hula skirt again, but it didn't look right in this because, you know, I wanted everything to coordinate, but this Excelsior stuff looked a lot better, even though it didn't really coordinate. Anywho, I glued that in there. And what I just did just then when you saw my hands in there, I was kind of digging a little hole so that the tumbling tower block would fit in there. And I got that one pushed all the way to the back. Now my little one up here, I don't show you, but see how it's flat? I ended up popping it off and laying the flat side that I just put the glue on. I popped it off and put that side against the pumpkin so the skinnier part went down in the Excelsior, because otherwise it stuck out too far and was off the edge of our big, huge hexagon pumpkin here. Anywho, you guys, you don't have to use pumpkins. You don't have to use this hexagon thing. This is just one hot mess express. You can jump aboard. You can jump aboard and watch. You can jump aboard and jump back off. Guys, I'm so sorry about this hot mess. Okay, I glued some more Excelsior around the top up there. And then I took my antique wax and a baby white to just kind of cover the top of that pump, the spindle stem to match the rest. And there she is. And here we go. I'm trying to get me set up a little reveal area here with a curtain and some other cutesy stuff. And how long it'll last, I don't know, until somebody runs through it and tears it all up. But there's our little big pumpkin with our little punkies. And I stuck a couple of my apples in there. See there? And there she is, Miss Naomi. And if you look quick, there's my little spindle pumpkins back there behind Naomi. See the blue? See those right there in the back? Those are my spindle pumpkins I made. So what I stuck on top of that hexagon, that's a piece of some of those spindle pumpkins that I made. Remember, I'll link that down in my description box. See the little blue one back there? And then I'll also have it here in just a second. Hit your up arrow and you can click on her and go see her. There's our foam dice pumpkins. If you don't like them that big, use the wooden blocks. There we go, guys. I'm so excited for fall. I know it's only the 1st of August, but guys, it's time for fall. Let's get it. We're ready for some cool weather down here in Texas. So go hit that description box for Brenda and Krista's channel links and that description box to really get your fall on with that playlist link. I love you guys. I hope to see you Sunday.